Hey YouTube, this is Edward Underhill, and I'm here with my Wrestlemania 32 review video. As I'm recording this, it is 10:30 p.m. Pacific time, and I just got back from the Cineplex from watching the show. I go to the theater to watch the pay-per-views. I don't have the network yet, and here's my ticket stub, just as proof. But yeah, it was like $19. It wasn't too expensive. I think the most I've ever paid to watch a Mania was like $30, I think, for 28. But yeah, WrestleMania 32 overall, I enjoyed it. But I don't know if I liked it better than 31. I would probably put this neck and neck with 30 as far as my favorite WrestleMania, as my second favorite probably, maybe 3. But it was a pretty good show for what it was. I know people going into it were not looking forward to the show because of how many people were injured. A lot of the top names are out still, which I'll get to later, actually, with one specific name. But the show started off with the Fifth Harmony group performing America the Beautiful. By the way, before I start the review, I did stop in at the Toys R Us and picked up the Lego Star Wars Separatist Spider Droid, which I probably will review on the channel. But yeah, the show started off with Fifth Harmony performing America the Beautiful, which is always good. I still am kind of disappointed they didn't do that for 29 or 30. Sorry, just gonna take a sip of water. I walked home. But yeah, we started the show off match-wise with the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. This was a pretty good match. Miz obviously got booed out of the building. Sami was probably, I would say, the most popular guy. Second was probably Kevin Owens, I would say. But yeah, this was a pretty good match to start the show off. I don't know if I liked it more than the 31 multi-man ladder match. There were a couple of crazy spots in it, though. One in particular that scared the crap out of me, which was Kevin Owens taking a suplex onto a ladder from Sami Zayn. They actually had a great confrontation as well, but yeah, that suplex spot scared the fucking shit out of me. I mean, I thought Owens broken his neck. But yeah, the match ended with, but also there were a couple other spots in the match, actually. Stardust took a bad bump through the ladder when Cara landed on him. But yeah, the match ended with the Miz on the ladder, and everyone thought he was going to win. And then Zack Ryder surprisingly pushes him off and then wins the championship, which I was very surprised by, because I didn't think he was going to win, but he did. I'm happy for him. Just given the fact that he's been buried for quite a few years now, actually. But it's nice to finally get to see him win his third championship, actually. But yeah, second match was a very good match. AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho, Part 4. Jericho got the win, which I know people are probably going to be upset about, but to me, I would have loved to have seen AJ win his debut. But as far as advancing the feud goes, I'm okay with it because they're probably going to have an Iron Man match to close the feud out, because they're now 2-2. 2 wins, 2 losses each. So they're probably going to have a 5th match to close the feud out at Extreme Rules, and I'm hoping it's an Iron Man match. Won't be watching the show, unfortunately, but that's a whole other story. But third match was actually a 6-man tag match. New Day versus League of Nations with Wade Barrett at ringside. Sorry. But yeah, the New Day's entrance was actually them coming out of a giant box of Bootios. Actually, it was this cereal just called Bootios. But yeah, it was a pretty decent match. They pretty much just mainly focused on wearing down Xavier Woods, and then League of Nations won, surprisingly. And then after the match, this is really awesome. Was really probably one of the highlights of the night. Barrett comes out, Barrett gets a microphone, cuts a promo, says no 3 guys can match them. Then Shawn Michaels' music hits. He comes out with his camouflage ring gear. Then Mick Foley comes out, Cactus Jack shirt, flannel vest, wrist tape, sweatpants, all. Then Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out wearing I got my Austin 316 shirt on, but just, yeah. And the crowd goes nuts. They beat the crap out of the League of Nations. Austin gives Barrett and Rusev, just trying to remember, both of them get a stunner from Stone Cold. Then they dance with the New Day, and poor Xavier Woods gets a stunner from Stone Cold. And then, of course, the sell job was pretty good, actually, on the stunner. But, yeah, pretty cool segment. Always good to see Foley and Austin. And HBK, of course. But then I believe after that we had the highlights from the Hall of Fame, I think. Or it was either this or either after this or the street fight, which I'll get to in a sec. But it was after that match or the match after they had the highlights for the Hall of Fame class. Really cool. Then we had the street fight. No holds bar rules. Brock Lesnar, Dean Ambrose, Paul Heyman at ringside. This match was pretty good. Again, I like Lesnar. But Ambrose should have won this match. Ambrose, he got his shots and he actually got a low blow in, which was pretty cool. But yeah, Lesnar won with the F5. Don't really know where they're going to go with Lesnar after this. He's probably going to go home for a couple of months until they need him. But yeah, I wish Ambrose would have won the match. But they did change. They did. I'm trying to think. Tease the chainsaw and the barbed wire bat. Both once. But it was mostly just them whacking each other with kendo sticks, steel chairs. But yeah, it was an okay match. Or a good match, sorry. But yeah, I wish they would have used more weapons personally. They also got a fire extinguisher in the match, which was pretty funny. Then we had the triple threat match for the now newly branded Women's Championship. They've officially retired the Divas Championship as of tonight. And the new Women's Championship belt design, I'm torn on it, personally. Because all it is really, and I've actually got, it is basically just the World Heavyweight Championship belt on a white strap. Probably scaled down. It just says Women's Championship on the banner at the bottom. But I'm glad that they finally retired the Divas belt. I think it's appropriate now to call them women's wrestlers because they have worked really hard to get themselves over. But yeah, this triple threat match, which was Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Sasha. Ric Flair was at ringside, of course. Sasha's entrance music was performed by the artist. I believe he does the recording of it for her music, and actually Snoop Dogg came out as well. But this was a very good match. They gave the girls quite a bit of time to get as much stuff in as they could. There were a couple of crazy high spots actually as well. But yeah, Flair took a bump, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, Charlotte won by tapping out Becky Lynch to the figure 8, while Flair was keeping Sasha from getting in the ring. Would have preferred that either one of the other two would have won, but I guess if they're gonna start the new belt over with the they might as well just have it on the previous champion. But that's fine. I'm sure the belt design will grow on me as the months go on, but I wish they would have actually given it a unique design that's separate from the main belt. Water. But yeah, good match. Looking forward to seeing what they do with these three in the next couple months. Then we had, for me, the match of the night, which was the Hell in a Cell match. The Undertaker versus Shane McMahon. Holy fucking shit, this match was crazy. It was a pretty good match. Shane came out with his kids when he came out on the entranceway, which is cool. And they were actually at ringside with Linda as well. And then Undertaker came out with his jacket. It was all black with the studs on the pants actually as well, which was cool. But yeah, this match was crazy. And of course you had, first off you had couple of crazy spots. You had Shane actually doing the coast to coast, which was cool. He amazingly landed it. I didn't think he was going to be able to pull it off given the fact that he's in his mid-40s, but he did. So kudos to Shane McMahon. Then you had him, he got a pair of bolt cutters out, and he cuts the bolts on one of the panels on the side of the cell. And then I'm just thinking, what the hell is he doing? And then, of course, Taker picks him up, drives him into the wall of the cage. The thing falls down. They go outside, much like Michaels and Taker at Bad Blood 97. Or I guess Foley, Triple H at No Way Out 2000. And of course, they have Taker. You think he's going to give Shane either the tombstone or on the tables. And then, of course, Shane locks in the sleeper. And Taker falls back. He twists halfway, goes to the table. Shane hits Taker with the toolbox. Then we come to the holy shit spot of the match where Shane climbs to the top of the cell, the very, very top. So this is and then of course this is the new cell. So it's much higher than the old one. So it's probably, I would say, close to 30 feet in the air. And he does the elbow drop, and Taker moves out of the way. And then he crash lands, and I'm just like, oh my god, he's probably screwed. Then Taker, and of course all throughout the match, Shane's just like, I want some more. And then of course Taker puts him on his shoulders, throws him back into the ring. Shane's like, and of course Taker gives him the pat on the side of the face. Tombstone pile driver, 1, 2, 3. Undertaker wins. He's going to be at 33 next year. But yeah, great match. For me personally, this was the match of the night. But yeah, kudos to Shane McMahon for putting on a pretty good match with Taker, given that he's been out for so long. And he actually gave the thumbs up as he was getting stretchered out of the arena. And Undertaker actually left his gloves in the ring, actually, for Shane, I'm guessing. But yeah. Then we had the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal after that, which was okay. A couple surprise entrants. You had Shaquille O'Neal in there, which was surprising, and Big Show actually came face-to-face. And both of them were tossed out immediately. But yeah, the winner, it ended up, I think, coming out as a couple of the Social Outcasts. Corbin, who's from NXT. Kane, and I think Mark Henry. And they all threw them all out. Corbin actually got the win, which was a surprise. But yeah, it's nice to get there giving NXT some acknowledgement. I heard the TakeOver Dallas show was really good. But yeah, then we had, I believe after that we had the announcement for WrestleMania 33, which it is official, that's taking place in Orlando, Florida, April 2nd, 2017. So yeah, that'll be hopefully a good WrestleMania as well. Then you had the one segment on the show that I actually do think we could have done without, because it was an extra hour long, which I thought wasn't necessary. So it was over 5 hours. I got out of the theater around 9-ish. But then you had the Dallas, Texas cheerleaders dancing to AC/DC's Thunderstruck, which was cool. Then you had The Rock coming out to cut a promo, announce the attendance, which it is actually 101,763 fans in attendance. So I guess they did break the WrestleMania 3 attendance record, which I didn't think they were going to do. But yeah, then the Wyatt family comes out. Bray Wyatt, Erik, Rowan, Braun Strowman. Wyatt coming out with an apron a la the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with the faces on everything. Cuts a promo with The Rock. Rock then, of course, insults all three of them, calling them a bunch of inbred hillbillies, basically. Then they have an impromptu match with Rock and Erik Rowan, where it's just like, bell rings, Rock bottom, 1, 2, 3, Rock wins. Then Cena comes out just when you think that the Wyatts are going to attack and beat up The Rock. And of course they just beat the Wyatts up, and then of course they walk out. But yeah, it was an okay segment. I didn't think it was completely necessary. Again, WWE's booking of the Wyatts as of late hasn't been the greatest, but I may just do a separate video on just my opinion on WWE's booking of the Wyatts. But yeah, then we had the main event. Roman Reigns versus Triple H. Triple H's entrance was Stephanie McMahon, of course, introducing him. She looked amazing, by the way. Him coming out with a bunch of guys dressed up in black with the skull helmets and the championship on their shoulders. Reigns then comes out, and the match, it was decent. I would say it was a decent to a solid match. But it was mostly, there was a lot of rest holds, a couple of spots. They actually went through the barricade at one point. There were some shenanigans. Stephanie did try and get involved. It wasn't made a no disqualification match, surprisingly. But she did sneak the sledgehammer. She actually got speared at one point by Reigns, which surprised me, because Stephanie very rarely gets messed with in matches. But yeah, and then of course at the end Triple H has the sledgehammer. Roman Reigns hits the ropes, he ducks, hits the ropes again, spears Triple H. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns is now a 3-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And the crowd was definitely 90-10 for Triple H. 90% of the crowd was chanting for Triple H. 10% for Roman Reigns. It may have been closer to 100% for Triple H, I think, but... Sorry, just gonna take another drink of water. But yeah, just the crowd was... There was a couple of cheers when he won. It was mostly boos and middle fingers, though, from what I saw. But yeah, just... It's going to be interesting to see what they do with Reigns coming out of Mania. I know people aren't happy about him being champion, but again, it's Vince's call. But yeah, then we had, of course, the highlighted package, which they haven't done for WrestleMania since 25. I know there was one for 27 on the DVD, but it wasn't aired after the show ended. But for this one they did. They had the highlights from the pre-show. So Kalisto won over Ryback. I'm guessing the Usos must have won against the Dudleys because they showed the Dudleys getting put through the tables by the Usos. And then Bree's team won the 10 Diva tag match. And then they just showed the highlights from the other matches as well. So yeah, WrestleMania 32 overall, I enjoyed it for what it was. I still am not sure if I liked it more than 31 though. I would probably put this, as I said earlier, neck and neck with WrestleMania 30 as my second favorite WrestleMania, maybe my third favorite of the 9 that I've watched so far. But yeah, overall, Undertaker and Shane was match of the night for me. I'd say Jericho Styles was probably my second favorite match of the night. Or it's neck and neck, I would say, with the Divas Championship match, or the Women's Championship match, I guess now. But yeah, definitely, in my opinion, good show. Looking forward to getting the DVD. Apparently, they are going to be doing a collector's edition box set that's going to be limited to a certain number of copies, like they did with 20 a couple years ago, with WrestleMania 20. By the way, sorry, I don't have that one, but I know some people who do. I've seen some collection videos that have that. But yeah, if I can get it, definitely going to do a video on it. Probably will keep it sealed, but I'm definitely going to pick up the regular DVD when it comes out in a couple months. So, thank you guys for watching the video. Be sure to like, comment, rate, and subscribe. And I will see you guys Tuesday with my Star Wars The Force Awakens pickup video. Until then, have a good night.